Have you ever felt like you had to copy someone else to be successful? Maybe you see others achieving great things, and you start thinking, should I do exactly what they're doing? But deep down, you know that something doesn't feel right. Today, we're going to talk about how true success doesn't come from copying others, it comes from embracing your own unique path. So, sit back, relax, and let this story guide you. Listen closely, because by the end of this, you might just see success in a whole new way. And hey, don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective. Now, let's get started. Chapter 1, The Illusion of Success. Success. It's a word we hear all the time. We see it in movies, in social media, in the people around us. And sometimes, we feel like there's only one way to achieve it, by following in someone else's footsteps. We look at those who have made it big, and we think, maybe if I do exactly what they did, I'll get there too. But is that really how success works? Imagine a young artist who dreams of becoming famous. He sees a well-known painter whose style is adored by everyone. So, he decides to paint just like him. Same colors, same techniques, even the same subjects. At first, people praise him. They admire his skill, but deep down, he knows something is missing. He isn't creating his art, he's copying someone else's. And soon, people begin to notice. His paintings lack originality, and interest fades. The truth is, copying might bring short-term recognition, but it rarely leads to lasting success. Why? Because true success isn't just about doing something, it's about being something. It's about expressing your unique voice, your perspective, your essence. Think about it, the people we admire most aren't the ones who simply followed the crowd. They're the ones who dared to be different. And this brings us to something important. Success isn't about imitation, it's about innovation. If you're constantly chasing someone else's path, you might never discover your own. Chapter 2, The Fear of Being Different. Why do we copy others in the first place? Most of the time, it's because we're afraid. Afraid that if we take a different path, we'll fail. Afraid that if we don't follow the trends, we'll be left behind. But here's the thing, some of the greatest minds in history were the ones who went against the norm. Take a look at inventors, artists, entrepreneurs. Many of them were once seen as crazy, unrealistic, or even foolish. But instead of trying to fit in, they focused on what made them different. And that's what led them to success. Think about a musician who refuses to follow mainstream trends. At first, no one pays attention. But over time, his originality begins to attract people who appreciate his unique sound. He isn't just another artist blending into the crowd, he's standing out. So, the question is, are you willing to be different? Are you willing to step outside the box, even if it means facing uncertainty? Because the moment you embrace what makes you you, that's when real success begins. And trust me, this story is just getting started. Keep listening, because in the next part, we're going even deeper into what it really means to create your own path to success. Chapter 3, The Trap of Comparison. One of the biggest reasons people struggle to succeed on their own terms is because they get stuck in the cycle of comparison. It's so easy to look at someone else's achievements and think, why am I not there yet? Or what am I doing wrong? But the truth is, comparing your journey to someone else's is like comparing a sunrise to a sunset. Both are beautiful, but they're meant to happen at different times. Imagine two runners in a race. One starts out fast, sprinting ahead, while the other paces himself, taking steady, measured steps. At first, the sprinter is far ahead, and the second runner might feel discouraged. But as the race goes on, the sprinter begins to lose energy, while the steady runner maintains his pace, eventually overtaking him. Success is the same way. Some people might seem to reach their goals faster, but that doesn't mean they'll stay ahead forever. And more importantly, it doesn't mean their path is meant for you. You have your own timing, your own strengths, and your own lessons to learn along the way. So, instead of constantly measuring yourself against others, focus on your progress. Ask yourself, am I better than I was yesterday? Because that's the only comparison that truly matters. Chapter 4, Finding Your Own Path. If copying others doesn't lead to true success, and comparison only holds you back, then what's the right way forward? The answer is simple: find what makes you unique and build on that. Think about a tree. No two trees grow in exactly the same way. Even if they're planted side by side, one might grow taller, while the other spreads wider. One might bear fruit, while the other offers shade. But each tree serves its own purpose, and the forest is richer because of their differences. The same goes for people. You don't have to be like someone else to be successful. What you do need is to understand your own strengths and use them to create something that only you can offer. Maybe you have a talent for storytelling, a deep understanding of people, or a fresh way of looking at the world. Whatever it is, that's your power. The world doesn't need another copy of someone who's already made it. It needs you, your ideas, your creativity, your unique touch. And the moment you stop trying to fit into someone else's mold and start shaping your own, you'll find that success feels much more natural, and much more fulfilling. So, take a moment to reflect. What makes you different? What excites you? What do you have to offer that no one else does? Because that's where your true path begins. And trust me, this journey is just getting started. Keep watching, there's so much more to uncover.